everyone. So today we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is what do you need after you give birth vaginally to a sweet little babe. So when I was doing my postpartum basket research before giving birth, I came across videos that showed needing things like this, like the really big thick pads and just, pads upon pads upon pads. However, when I gave birth, I found that this was not the right solution for me, and so I just wanted to share what I ended up doing with it. So when I gave birth at the hospital, they gave me a few things that were really helpful. So one was these chucks. After I ran out of the ones from the hospital, we just picked up some from the store. They are these assurance underpads, these like chucks that people use for, if people are wetting the bed or whatnot. And they also give you at the hospital these mesh underwear that look really weird but are super comfortable, especially right after you've given birth and you don't want anything to like touch you, like regular underwear might. You don't want anything to touch really. So these were really great. They stretch for pretty much any body type, and you can't really feel them when they're on. I don't know, they're nice and soft and just comfortable. And so what I basically did was I laid a chuck, I opened it all the way up and then laid it inside the mesh underwear. So you essentially make an adult diaper. Yeah. And so I just kind of like did this around myself. And so at the beginning, we needed this size, but as time went, I would cut these down into whatever, whatever size I would need. So like much later, I only needed about like this size, and kind of before that, I would need around this size. Like I kind of just cut them to whatever size I kind of felt like, as the blood became less and less over time. And then on top of these, especially in the earlier days, I would put an ice pack, which they gave you at the hospital, and you can like they give you a few, and then you like use them and then you throw them out. And so I use these definitely at the hospital, but then afterwards not as much. And then also some pads, and they gave me like a bunch at the hospital, and then I asked for more so that I could have them at home too. And then you basically, at the hospital, I remember putting 2 of these on top and the ice pack, and I can't remember if the ice pack was on top or underneath, but they'll help you at the hospital to figure that out. And then a really important thing was dermoplast. This helps make everything feel like cool and like, I don't know, it feels really, really good down below. And I was really scared to use this at the hospital because I thought it would be like a direct shooting line or something, but it's like a spray, and it's just like whoosh, and it's really nice. So don't be scared to use this, because once I tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I try this before? And this is definitely enough for like at the hospital and when you go home, so you don't need to worry about like buying a second one, at least in my case. And I think I used all of this for, I don't know, I can't really remember, but I think at least like 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks or something like that. And so we did need to buy these, but everything else I didn't need to buy more of. Like the pads I stopped using over time because this was enough. And I think we only needed to buy 1 of these after coming back home, and it's an 18 count. So I did split them up. I cut them up in things, and I had also other ones from the hospital. And by the way, that would be one of my biggest tips, is to take everything from the hospital and also ask for more. Be like, oh, this is almost running out. Can I have some more? Like just like stand up for yourself and get more, so then you don't have to buy them later, because they're charging you an arm and a leg at the hospital anyways, so you might as well take advantage. And if you're having a home birth, I'm sure that your I forget the name of it, but your midwife or whoever can help you to find the supplies that you'll need, or find a way to get these if there's a special place for them or something. Oh, and then the other thing that I used was a Peri Bottle, which they do give you at the hospital, and you can also buy them on Amazon for like $5 or like 4 something. And just put water, warm water is very helpful in there. And if you're sink is not reachable from your toilet, I recommend filling it with warm water before you sit down so that you can have this with you already. I just remember sometimes being like trying to reach the sink and trying to fill it up while still sitting on the toilet, and it's just kind of awkward. So it's better to fill this first. Yeah. And then another tip I recommend is to have all of these items, your scissors to cut them if you haven't already pre-cut them, when the time comes to make them smaller, and then your ice packs and the water bottle and pads if you want to use them on top of the chucks, to have all of that, oh, and the dermoplast, all of that within reach, so that way you don't have to like be trying to get something when you're not feeling good and everything and you're so exhausted from having a newborn babe. So I definitely recommend to keep all of that within reach. For me, that wasn't on the floor, like in a basket like this on the floor. That would be kind of too much considering how high the toilet was, and it just, you don't want to have to do more work than you have to do. So our cabinet or cupboard is right next to our toilet, and so I just kept everything right in the cabinet, and it kind of worked. It worked better than having it directly on the ground. And I would also, okay, actually scratch that. I would keep things on top of the countertop. And another thing that I had was a roll of paper towels. I found that, you know, for like drying myself, I found that because I would use the Peri Bottle to, you know, clean myself off with, there'd be water kind of everywhere, and so dabbing like this, even though paper towel isn't as soft, it kind of got the water, and then I would take toilet paper and do a little bit. But I was basically okay with leaving it as is because I felt the water kind of cleansed things. And you don't need anything else. You don't need to buy a fancy cleanser or something like that. Just water does a trick, in my opinion. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I also wanted to add, for you to just like also be thinking about what you might need on the go if you're out and about and using the restroom when you're, you know, especially when you're like 2 weeks postpartum or less than 2 weeks or like 3 weeks postpartum. You will need stuff for when you're out and about. I remember we had to go to the hospital because my daughter had jaundice, so we had to do a test at the lab at the hospital, and I totally didn't think about going to the bathroom, and I didn't have anything with me, and I really had to go like right when we were getting into the car to go back home, and I was like, I need to go. And thankfully my husband was like, go, it's okay, just go, because I was like, I don't have all my things, and but so I just went, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really don't have anything, and this is really uncomfortable. And the toilet paper there wasn't nearly as soft as the toilet paper that we had at home, and I was just like, ugh. So what I ended up doing was I prepared a little like to-go travel bathroom kit for myself. So I would carry the Peri Bottle in a plastic bag, so in case it leaked, because I didn't want to get everything wet, and then some toilet paper from home that was soft, a pair of the mesh underwear in case I wanted to change that. You don't have to change the mesh underwear all the time, but in case blood does get on it or something, or every now and then when you're feeling sweaty, you'll want to change it. And then one of the pads according to whatever size you would want at the time, and then one of the ice packs. And this is kind you like break it and then it's ready to use, or snap it and then it's ready to use. And then also a trash bag in case you want to throw anything away and don't want to sting up the bathroom, or in case you want to take your other mesh underwear home, you can stick the dirty one in here and then take this home. So yeah, I definitely recommend having a travel bathroom kit for yourself. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling about giving birth coming up, and if you've already had a child, let me know what you used postpartum, if it was different or the same as this other way with all the pads in it, and if you had a C-section, what did you use? So yeah, hope you have a great day. Oh, she found the button. Yeah. She's recording. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. So,